Hi everyone, welcome to the Animal Reader. The Animal Reader is an animal news website, and every week we do interviews here live on Facebook. Yesterday, some big news came. The European Court of Justice ruled that governments can order that animals must be stunned before slaughter. And we're talking to Ann de Greef. She's from the animal welfare organization GAIA, based in Belgium. And welcome, Ann. Just to recap, in 2017, it was Flemish, the Flanders in Belgium, wanted to make it mandatory for anybody who slaughters animals, so even if it's halal or kosher meat, that they're stunned before. And it took till 2019, it became law. And then those groups didn't agree with it based on religion. They said, no, we should have religious freedom, and that should go before animal welfare. And you were against that. And then yesterday came the news that you were right.
Mm-hmm.
What was that moment like for you, first of all? Because it was 25 years in the making, this decision for you.
Yes, well, it was, I think I can honestly say that it was one of the best days in the history of GAIA, and we exist for 28 years. We've been campaigning for a ban on slaughter without stunning for 25 years. We had that legislation two years ago with the transition period, no, 3 years ago with the transition period until 2019. When the ban finally came into effect, then all of a sudden some Jewish and Muslim communities went to court. And so it was, it was strange because we thought we might lose the ban. But then yesterday came the news that we can keep the ban and that we are moving forward now. And so, slaughter without stunning is in the past now in Flanders and in Wallonia, in the French-speaking part also. Unfortunately, we still don't have a ban in Brussels, but given what happened yesterday, I think that the Brussels government will now follow soon. And so we will have a ban on slaughter without stunning in the whole of Belgium soon. And it's, whatever they are doing now, I mean, this is a huge victory for animals, because this is clear that religion can never be an excuse to abuse animals, which is fantastic news.
And can you explain to us what this means for animals, like what it was like before and what it is now with stunning?
Well, before the problem was that the European legislation and the Belgian legislation allowed people to slaughter without stunning for religious reasons. The reality was that in most slaughterhouses where halal or kosher slaughter is done, that the exception became the rule. So in the hearings we had in the parliament, for instance, this one slaughterhouse director who came to testify, he answered the question of a member of the parliament, and he said that 100% of the animals that were slaughtered without stunning. So even if it was for halal or non-halal, they just slaughtered all the animals. And I think it might be the same in Holland and in other countries, that the exception becomes the rule, because it's easier. You don't need 2 slaughter lines, you just need 1 slaughter line, and you certify halal and you just slaughter all the animals without stunning, and then you can easily put a part in the halal business and a part in the regular meat industry. Mm-hmm. And so this was the reality for the majority of the animals, until the law changed. And then now the animals that are going into halal business, they are slaughtered with stunning, reversible stunning, which means that the animal is not killed by the stunning. And so, but the animal is unconscious. So when the throat is cut, and that's the main issue for us, it has never been about religion. It has always been just for one reason, for animal welfare reason. And so if people wants to eat meat, which is of course not my case.
Mm-hmm.
But if people absolutely want to continue eat meat, the least we can do is stun them before cutting their throat, so they don't feel that, and they don't suffer for long minutes before they bleed to death, in fact. And so that is now the case in Belgium, because the ban has come into force in 2019. And so what has happened yesterday is only confirming the actual situation. It means that slaughterhouses can now continue for the halal market to use that equipment of reversible stunning. And so for the animals, it has changed in 2019. Nothing will change now. The only thing is that we now know for certain that the court says very clearly that there is no excuse to abuse animals for religious reasons, and that's a huge victory.
And the European Court said yesterday governments can do this. Do you see this happening and also in the rest of Europe?
Oh, we do hope so. I think I just will ask my colleague organizations in other countries now to go for it, because this is you just have to kick the ball into the goal, because we have prepared everything for you guys. Just do it now, because this is not going to be a hurdle anymore. I know that in Holland, the Partij voor de Dieren has a proposal. Well, just take it out of your desk and put it on the table again, because this is going to be so much easier for all those organizations who are going for a ban. The only thing I would say is be sure that reversible stunning is in there, because the criteria for halal slaughter is that it should be the animals should not die from the stunning. Mm-hmm. But that's the case with the equipment exists. 50 million sheep are killed in that way with reversible stunning in New Zealand, and that meat is halal certified, comes into the market in Holland, in other countries, in Belgium. And so Muslims have been eating that for years. Maybe they don't know it, but it was and it is halal certified. So I think this is a precedent for other countries, and I think France also should go for it, because now there is no hurdle anymore to be taken. You just need to convince politicians to vote the legislation.
And I saw that because you mentioned that the Muslim and Jewish community, they still want to appeal it, because if the animal is not dead from the reversible stunning, why are they still against it? Do you know that?
Because they are stubborn, because they are fundamentalists. There are lots of Muslims who contacted us and they said, I completely agree with you. It's 2020, nearly 2021. We should stop killing animals in that way. We absolutely agree, no problem. If Mohammed would have lived today, he would have agreed with us to use stunning. But there is a small part of Muslims and Jewish people who, pardon me saying, but who are very fundamentalists and extremists, and they don't want to listen to scientific arguments. They still think that killing the animals without stunning is the best way and doesn't harm the animal. For me, they have no empathy with the animal at all. They have no respect for science. You can bring dozens of scientific reports to those people. They will all ignore it. And so when I hear that they, after what happened yesterday, they still want to appeal, I mean, come on, people, it's 2021, just give up now, you lost. Let's move on. The slaughterhouses have bought that equipment 2 years ago. They have been doing it for 2 years. People have been eating that meat for 2 years. They have been eating the New Zealand halal certified meat of sheep for years and decades. All the supermarkets in Belgium have stopped selling halal meat from animals that have not been stunned. So they have been eating that. So just give up. I mean, you lost.
And like you just said, also there's also the organization Eyes on Animals in Amsterdam, in Holland. They also work in Turkey with slaughterhouses that are stunning now too, and there are imams who even say it's better because the animal isn't suffering. And I have seen once live halal slaughter here in Holland of a cow without stunning, and I think that was one of the most Slaughter is always bad to see, but that was
Yeah.
it took quite a while also before the cow actually died, and it would have made his life, his or her life, so much better if he was stunned
Yeah,
before.
I think politicians should stop listening to those people who want to make us believe that the earth is flat and not round. Because when you see that and you say that the animal is not suffering, I mean, I'm sorry to say, but I think something is really wrong with you. And I think politicians should stop listening to them. But those are the same people who are not shaking my hand because I'm a woman. So I think if I was a politician, I would not listen to those people.
And have you gotten responses from? You already said like you hope that other countries follow, but have you gotten responses from your colleague animal welfare organizations in other countries saying we're going to fight for the same now?
Yes, we had many reactions. We had, of course, congratulations from many groups in Holland, from France, from our colleagues in Germany. We had media from Germany. We have, of course, Eurogroup for Animals, which is our European organization with lots of member organizations who are now putting this on the agenda in their own countries. So I'm very eager to see more bans coming in now. I think this is the moment, and I think we should seize that to broaden the number of bans in Europe. And then maybe if we have enough countries, member states with a ban, then we can go for a European ban.
That would be the best news, a European ban, that
Yeah.
every animal has to be stunned before slaughter. Thank you very much for all the hard work. Like, it's been years in the making. You already said that, but thank you for sticking with it and not giving up on it. And finally, you made it happen. And now it's Brussels, some other countries, and then Europe.
Yeah, and then the rest of the world.
That is. I hope we have this conversation in the coming years. We'll come back to you. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, and thank you for everything you've done for animals. And
you're welcome.
thank you everybody for watching.